after being crowned for 2 months now, Cambodia's Sarita Reth will be sitting down with me as she catches up and shares her plan for the upcoming Miss Universe. But before we do that, let's look back at her crowning moment. And now I'm so privileged to introduce her. Please say hello to Miss Universe Cambodia 2020, Sarita Red, live all the way from Cambodia. Hi, Sarita.
Hi, Jumripsu, all the way from Phnom Penh, Cambodia. Good evening, Adam. How are you?
I'm doing good. It's quite drizzling here in Manila. Yeah, so I'm feeling a bit under the weather, but now
Oh,
that I'm facing you right now on screen, I feel like, my flu has just suddenly disappeared.
well, you know what, Adam? Same thing, because the weather is actually making me feeling a little bit drowsy. But like what you said, getting to talk to you, I'm, I'm good.
Yes, maybe it's probably I'm seeing someone very beautiful,
Oh.
so that's why all my senses are like up and kicking, and like my flu is suddenly my flu is just disappearing or vanishing a little temporarily.
Well, I
But
think for me, it's more like I'm nervous, so all the flu is going away, the fever is
oh,
going away, and my sleepiness is going away. I'm a little bit nervous.
no worries. Okay, yeah. But anyway, first and foremost, congratulations for winning Miss Universe Cambodia. You know,
Thank you.
every time you look at your crowning moment, so how do you feel when you watch it over and over again?
I'm like, oh my lord, wow. It took me quite a while for the reality to sink in that, oh my goodness, I'm actually Miss Universe Cambodia. This is actually me. It took me quite a while to like let the reality sink in. So it's it makes me smile really, really, really big every time I see the crowning moment. It's just like, is that me? It's me.
when we
It's happening.
yeah, your dream is finally coming true.
Yes,
Yeah,
yes. It's just
you're now a queen.
it's unbelievable. Like it has always been just deep down in your mind. Oh my goodness, I wish I could be that person to be on that stage, and how would it feel like to be, you know, winning a Miss Universe Cambodia. And so as I look at the video, oh my goodness, that's me. It's reality.
Yes, it has finally sunk in.
Wow, I love this.
Yeah. When we were watching the pageant, yeah, we did you feel that you were already about to win towards the end of the night because you won so many awards during the first part of the show. Best advocacy, what were the other awards? Or did you already have an inkling that this could be your night?
Honestly, everyone is amazing. Like all the girls, okay, we support each other like we're sisters, but at the end of the day, it's still competition. So I'm like, she's wonderful too. And then like, at least I did my best. So let's see how the night goes, because I won
Mm.
two awards in that night, which I won like best interview and then best advocacy. And I'm like, oh, okay, what is this? Let's see. And then while holding hand, I didn't expect to hear like dap pram bay, because if you say pram bay, it's the other one. So this one comes
Oh.
first like 10-8. In Khmer we say dap pram bay. So the moment I hear dap, then I'm like, oh my god, that's me. So
Yes,
yes,
it's
so basically it's like, um I I knew that the first runner up Tunretsa was my competitor because she's wonderful as well, and I'm like, I trust in Miss Universe Cambodia. Whatever, whoever they choose, whatever happens, I already tried my best. It's the representative that she's the next person will be the representative of Cambodia. So I don't mind. I'm already here. I'm standing at the last part of the competition. So yeah, here I am.
Yes, you're finally here with a crown.
Yeah.
So, after being crowned for 2 months now, how has winning Miss Universe Cambodia impacted your life so far?
Oh my goodness, so many ways. I don't know how to explain like how many ways, because normally before, when I walk into the room, I go in there, people know me as Sarita Reth, the actress, the TV host. And then now, not just like the Sarita Reth, I'm basically walking into that room, that's Miss Universe Cambodia. So I'm basically bringing the whole nation of Cambodia. Oh, that's Cambodia. They no longer see me as Sarita Reth, they see me as Cambodia, Miss Cambodia. And so yeah, that was like a huge impact. It definitely changed my life more than I expected. And also, before I was already a busy person myself, and now it's like 3 times or 4 times busier. Like this morning I had a shoot, and this afternoon I have to go for a meeting, and then I have to prepare for my next shoot tomorrow, and then I have to set up, and then now we get to talk to each other. So I'm basically running everywhere in town.
Yes, like a headless chicken, perhaps, maybe.
Yes. Ah.
So, listening at you right now, how are you summing up your range so far? Does it come out naturally for you, or does this feel like an extra responsibility?
Um, Definitely there is some pressure in there, because without the pressure, you wouldn't be more aware of things around you. You're not going to be careful. So it's not easy, I can say, but at the same time, I'm really enjoying the moment. It's like once in a lifetime experience, and once in a lifetime experience, I get to experience that for like a year. So I, I, I have nothing to complain about. It's like a responsibility, and I'm more than honored.
You know, everyone knows that you're an actress, but listening at you right now, you still feel giddy, excited every time you relive your crowning moment. So I'm curious to ask, has becoming a beauty queen part of your childhood dream? Or was it wanting to become an actor? What was your passion?
Okay, let me explain you this. I never thought that this is reality. This is basically surreal, because when I was younger, I'm actually a fan. Like, I just consider myself as a pageant enthusiast. Like, oh my goodness, oh, who's winning this year? Oh, Venezuela. And then the next year, oh my goodness, back to back Venezuela. And then the next year, you have Angola. And then after that, you have like USA.
USA.
Yes. And like, as years to years, like it goes by, you see the evolution of Miss Universe, and I'm starting to understand more about the program of Miss Universe. And then I see, the value, like the super strong value within the competition of Miss Universe, where it's a platform where we can have the opportunity to empower other women. And I think I was able to be courage enough, to be strong enough to stand on that stage. And I told myself, hey, I think that's meant to be. I think I have to work hard on it. Even as an actress, I was spending my time learning more about the competition, learning more, doing research. What is it about? What do they want? What are they looking for within a Miss Universe? So yes, here I am. I can say it's both a passion, it's a dream, and I was a fan myself. So being an actress and a beauty queen, it's actually going to the same, it's walking the same path. So
Direction.
I would
Yeah.
never take anything for granted, because I'm really, really grateful for both of, what I am experiencing right now.
All right. Before we proceed, can we greet all your viewers, all your fans, and our viewers who are tuned in right now? Dara Rotana, I think they're all from Cambodia. Dara Rotana is flashing a lot of smile emoticons. Samon Koem, hi Miss Universe Cambodia, I love you, Sarita.
Oh,
Mao
thank
Mao Vatanakyut, Queen Sarita is here. Hi, Miss Universe Cambodia. Everyone is greeting you and so excited to have you on our platform right now.
oh,
They
yes.
just couldn't get
Hi,
enough of you.
everybody.
Yeah. Yeah. Thank you so much, guys, for tuning in. I'm so privileged to have your queen right now. So thank you so much. Thank you so much, Sarita, for making this possible.
Oh,
So
it's my pleasure. It's an honor for me as well. Like, thank you for having me to be a part of your, series.
you're welcome. But going back to our conversation earlier, yeah, it's amazing that even though you're already a movie actress, you're also a pageant fan. You've been keeping tabs of what's happening in the pageant industry. You have been embarking a very successful pageant and movie career. How are you able to do these things all together?
Oh, okay. To be honest, if I think about that time, it was a difficult, time as well. It was one of the toughest time in my life. But I always taught myself that no matter how busy I am, like studies always comes first. Not because people told me that it's important, but because I am aware that I need it. Like education is something really important for me. But what helped me, survive through all those hardships is because of one is discipline and two is consistency. And I mean, within these two qualities within me, look where I'm at today. And hopefully, with all these hard work, with what I'm having right now, I may not be the most successful person in the world, whatever how we call that, but hopefully the younger girls who are facing the same hardship as me that I had faced before, that hopefully it can help them and inspire them, and can help encourage them that you'll get to where you want to be if you have the discipline and the consistency and the patience within you.
Yeah, so when I listening to you right now, you are there's no doubt that you're very well spoken, very articulate. Uh, I'm amazed at the level of tenacity, determination, caliber that you have right now as a contestant leading up for Miss Universe. So, how did your movie career start?
Ooh, speaking of movie career, my
Yeah.
goodness, you have no idea how much I pray. So it started after the 2 years of joining the talent competition back in 2012. I went to countless auditions, and like I would audition and audition, and then finally you hit one role. you know uh,
Yes.
by going through those many auditions, it actually taught me the confidence and to improve myself even more. Even for example, I go to that one audition and I didn't get the role, like it actually helped me to boost my confidence and to learn more. So finally I got the role to be featured in one of Cambodia's biggest hit TV series that was supported by the BBC Media Action, which is called Love 9, where it's a show that tackles sexual and reproductive health. So that's when I started, and that's how I kept, to be my advocacy. Yeah, so that's how it started back in 2012 by going to numerous auditions, and then I hit one, and I am here until today.
That's great. That your career in movie making or in the entertainment industry has also opened your eyes about the real world.
Yes, it taught me so many things. Like, not by just being able to, being on screen, on the big screen or whatever, but it basically taught you the lesson of life, the communication skills, how how to be um, confident in front of the camera, not to be scared, how to face the problems, how to improvise. It really teaches me everything up until today.
So you've inherited all the positive aspects of what it's like to be, a celebrity. Because the thing is, when you're usually a celebrity, you're somehow bound to go to those trappings of fame, getting into your head, acting like a diva, and being choosy or being arrogant to a lot of your fans. So I'm glad that it has come in a different direction for you, the opposite way.
I, I'm I'm very glad as well. Like, I have always been telling myself that if you want to go, far in life, um, you must have humility inside you, because being humble is very important. It will take you far in life, and without the people around you, like, you wouldn't be able to stand here today, because once person's success, there's many people behind. So what's the reason of being all, diva and forgetting everyone? I don't
Yes,
see the point at all.
I'm curious to ask those people behind you because they for sure nurtured you, mentored you so well to be that woman you are, to be that well respected woman that you are right now.
Yes, it's not that many people. There are people that doubted my dreams because it sounds kind of unrealistic for most people, because you were born from, in a very difficult family background, and so it's a field that requires a lot of hard work. And so sometimes people think that having a good job, you need shortcut, or you need connections or whatever, but you got to earn it. Once you work hard, you will basically get there. And thanks to my best friend, thanks to my both my parents, they have been super supportive. I think I can say I am very blessed. I am one of the luckiest person in the world because of all the supports I have received from my parents. And I think it really applies to other families as well. It's very important for parents to, give the freedom of rights to their kids in order for them to achieve their dreams. So yes, thanks to the small surroundings of
Yeah,
mine.
I suddenly became curious about your two sets of parents.
Oh,
So yeah, so is it your do you have two sets of parents or is were you talking about your mom and dad?
okay. So here's the story. I might not be that clear in the previous, interviews with other, interviewers. I was raised by both my French and Cambodian dad. My mom passed away at a very young age. I was 6 only. So my Cambodian dad had a very hard time like raising us. And so still, he will still to find ways to raise us. He will work day and night. He would work nighttime shift, being a guard. And daytime he would, fix electricity, the housing stuff near the neighbors. And so my French dad, that time, he never knew about Cambodia. But then that time he got married with a Cambodian American woman, which was my mom. They came to
Yes.
Cambodia because they couldn't like have kids. They want to come back to Cambodia and to find kids and see if they can find any adoption. And so the aunt of my Cambodian dad, was like, hey, there's a couple that wants to have kids, that wants to adopt. Why don't you just, take that opportunity, that chance to just let them raise your kids so that they have um, the opportunity to get the education, to explore, to experience a more, a better life. And then my dad was like, my Cambodian dad was hesitating at first, but then as he was thinking about it, like, no matter what happens, regardless of how much I love them, they they deserve to have the best things in life. and especially education. And so, yeah, like we lived with both, our French and American parents for a few years, and then their marriage had a little bit of problems. So I came back and lived with my Cambodian dad. But at the same time, I'm still very close with my French dad up until today. So, yes, that's basically it. That's how I end up speaking French. And this is how I speak English.
Yes.
And that's the story behind.
I see. What's now that you are foraying into another new world, which is pageantry? What has been the most valuable lesson you've learned from both your Cambodian, from your biological and French dad?
Oh my goodness. It's just a diverse of culture within me. It helps me, like, thanks to both of them, because each of them are so different, so different, like different cultures, different religions, different, definitely, nationality, from different continents, from another side of the world. It's just two in combined within me. And then
Yes.
it helps me grow as a person, to look at the world in a more open-minded way, where I am willing to listen to other people's story, and which I can relate. Even if, okay, you're from Europe, I understand you, I understand what you mean. And then if you're from Asia, yeah, I totally get what you mean. And if you're from America, of course I get what you mean, girl.
I really love the fusion of the East and West in your personality. It seems like you got the best of both worlds. Don't you think so?
It is actually, and I'm very grateful. I
That,
didn't know what I did in my past life, if it exists. It's just, I'm very grateful for my life. It's a hard journey, but it's worth it.
yeah, it's worth it. Yeah. So
Is
definitely
that
so
me?
worth it. I'm sorry.
Is that me speaking in French or right now?
There's a clanking sound, but I don't mind. I can still hear you loud and clear. But yeah, um, so yeah, it's definitely worth it. With the journey that you've been through as a woman, there's no doubt that whatever you've been through prepared you to become the woman that you are right now. So let's shift gears a bit. Now that you are competing in Miss Universe, where it's now evolving to become some sort of a woman empowerment thing. How did this come all about for you?
Hmm. Basically, within the life experience that I received, and having a diverse of culture within me, like I see people around me that they are not fortunate enough to be facing, to be experiencing what I have in my life. So I just want to take that opportunity to share, to listen, to see what I can help to solve, to address any kind of issues that we want to address out there, any cause that we want to put into light. So that's basically it. That's basically the story behind.
And I love the inspiration that you have been doing in this aspect of your candidacy, that you have been advocating for something very meaningful, as you have been praised even by the United Nations for something that is so close to your heart, which is gender-based violence, advocating or espousing for gender-based violence. So how did this also come about for you?
Okay, it started the same time as I was advocating for sexual and reproductive health back in 2014, which we started in the show called Love 9, both season 1 and season
Yes.
2. So, in our country, I mean, in the capital, it's doing okay. Everyone is learning to understand one another, to respect each other, both men and women. But if we look into the countryside, where men are still considered um, to be a higher, how do I say, put this into word, a higher position than women, and they still
More
consider women
dominant.
are just an object. Like they think they could treat women however they want to. And so sometimes to solve the problem or solve the argument or to win the argument, there's violence happening. And so it's just not fair. There are many other ways that you can solve the problems instead of being violent to one another. And if we make an analyst, it's like 1 out of 4 there's violence happening in Cambodia already. So I mean, imagine if we think about our neighboring countries, there are still these kinds of problems happening, like around the world basically. So that's how, for me, I'm just fortunate enough to be like seeing the problem, and why can't I be the voice? Why can't I just take that time to try to understand and try to solve the issue? So that's basically how it started.
Oh, I kind of relate with you considering that I also come from another Asian country where, this problem exists as well. Do you think it has something to do with our culture
I
that women being subservient to men?
definitely,
Yes.
definitely it has a culture. It's a cultural thing where they think, women has to be always here, and then
Yes.
men can always be here. They can treat women however they want to. And it's their mindset that they've been having from a very long time ago. In Cambodian proverbs or Cambodian saying, they say law can't win habits.
Law can't win habits.
Yes.
Yes.
And habits wins it all. Sometimes, it's just the habit, or you have that for a long time ago. It's just really hard. Once it becomes a habit, it's just really difficult to cut. So that's actually the story behind.
Hearing you answer about it, especially that we acknowledge that it has something to do with culture, with our culture. So, do you think this culture, in a culture with an equal power relations between men and women, do you think that this gender-based violence issue will be solved in your country at the very
it
least?
should it very be solved? Sorry for the question
Do
again.
you think
Sorry.
this issue, this gender-based violence issue, can be solved in your country at the least?
Oh, definitely. Like definitely it can be solved. It's like, okay, let's put it this way. To solve a problem is to be aware that that's the problem. So same as, gender, based violence, the first step that we need to create is an awareness. Like an awareness that violence is the problem, not the choice. So they think that violence is the only choice to solve things within the
Yes.
argument. So it will start from creating the awareness. And I think starting from that small point, and from us as individual trying to understand and respecting one another, it will definitely go to the right direction.
Mhm. But for now, as it has been, as it, as this kind of problem persists in your country, do you think it's some sort of a pandemic on its own
Uh,
that we could rank alongside issues like global warming, climate change, that needs the attention of our world
it
leaders?
really affects everything, because
Because
once that happens, it really like affects every aspect around you in life. Like once one that exists within you and then another person, definitely it will be like the negative energy towards other different things around you. So if we can start like solve from the smallest point by understanding that is the issue, and by making an awareness, so it will definitely go to the right direction.
no doubt, I'm very hopeful that we can solve this issue in our lifetime, right? Because really, because this could really also directly impact
Yes,
our
and
countries
also
economically, right?
true, and also like I understand some women are scared to speak up, because they don't want any further problems. Like, oh, for example, if they go and go to the police, what will it happen after they report the police? Oh, maybe I have a bigger problem. And so like we're in a situation where we're trying to find the problem solving. And like I really encourage everyone to just speak up, and we are there to help you. Like Cambodia right now, we have created a system where you can just come to us and you will feel safe. And okay, actually I haven't announced officially to the public yet that I will be the goodwill ambassador of the Ministry of Women's Affairs, promoting gender equality and reproductive health.
That's
So we're gonna
great.
see you guys.
Congrats in advance. Yeah.
Thank you. And we are still, thank you, Adam. Thank you so much. We are still like working on it and see what are the issues that we can address. And we will definitely go into different communities, to teach people more about the awareness, to spread more of the awareness. So yes, it's going to the right direction. And I finger crossed.